Hey, what's up YouTube? This is going to be a video on how to get perfect lines when you're running your baseboard. Right now I got all my baseboard painted. I come along and I like frog tape. You lay a perfect line that you can essentially cut in, and as you go, before the paint totally dries, you remove that. So frog tape, lay it all down, make sure your trim paint's good and dry before you tape off your lines. Show you what that looks like. You can see I'm just catching the back edge, and that way if there's any bow in your wall, you can kind of take it out of it. So I got it all taped off. I'll show you what that looks like as you work your way in paint. I usually run all my tape and then I come back right before I'll paint it, and I'll work that edge to make sure it hasn't came up at all. There's still a good seal. And I think that makes a big difference. So if you just remember to put some pressure right before you paint, and like I said, make sure and remove it before your paint starts to dry, because then it'll peel. So you still want to do this as it's wet. So you get it all feathered out. Usually what I'll do is I'll work a good section and then come back and peel, but it really doesn't matter. And when you peel it, you kind of figure out what angle works best for you, and be cognizant of which way you lap your tape. That'll also make a difference. You can see how clean of a line that gives you. So once again, I'm gonna put pressure on my tape. Before I paint. And you don't want to be doing this if your trim hasn't set up. If your trim paint's still tacky, you obviously want to wait a little while. And I think the biggest thing when you're doing this is to make sure you put pressure on your tape right before you brush. Get that good seal. Feather it out. Hit any imperfections. And you can keep a rag and either like a putty knife or like I was using a chisel earlier because I had one in here, and you wrap your rag if you would have any bleeds, and you can kind of get up to that line with a wet rag. So that's just a quick tip on how to get perfect lines. And I caulked this a couple days ago. I always make sure to paint my caulk sufficiently, and then I always come back and run my frog tape when it's all dried. And then that's how I get good clean lines when it comes to cutting in trim. So there you have it. There's a quick tip of cutting in baseboards with some frog tape. Thanks for watching. Go to Meyer Construction, hit like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more tips. Keep hammering.